following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Florida.
Montreal native Roberto Luongo is back in town tonight, looking to continue his stingy play in the Cats' cage and pull the Panthers closer in the playoff race. UC Jokinen led the offensive charge in Tuesday's win in Toronto to open the road trip. Tonight, they face PK Subban, one of hockey's most dynamic players. The Panthers and Canadiens collide next in Montreal. Center in Montreal, Panthers hockey is on the air. It's game 2 of the Cats road trip, and after a win to start it up over the Maple Leafs, the task is tough tonight against the top team in the Eastern Conference. The Canadiens go with Carey Price in goal tonight. The Panthers can continue to climb in the standings. In fact, a win would put them within 1 point of a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Welcome, everybody, inside the Bell Center, along with Hall of Famer Denny Potvin. I'm Steve Goldstein. Bill Lindsay will join us shortly. Denny, the Panthers have one hot center right now. Nick Bjugstad continues to shine, leading the team in goals.
Well, I tell you what, not only that, but I mean, he's looking pretty good around the league when he considered 22-year-olds. But it hasn't been easy. Nick Bjugstad had to go 10 games before he got his first goal. So here now he's on a roll. That first one against Anaheim, back home in Minnesota. That felt good. And then in the last game the Panthers played in Toronto, Nick Bjugstad again scoring. Now he's getting on a roll and much more consistent. So you take a look at his peers around the National Hockey League. That is the players who are 22 years old or less. Nick Bjugstad is second with 21 goals, and I've got a feeling that's not going to last too long. He's on the tail of Kucherov.
All right, the Montreal Canadiens coming off a loss last night in Ottawa. Back-to-backs for them. Our Cleveland Clinic players to watch, boy, PK Subban and Carey Price have been outstanding.
Well, simply said, they're both dynamic players, and the fact is that Carey Price could very well be, or is, I should say, the best player in the NHL right now. They're already talking about Hart Trophy nomination. That happens to be the player who's most valuable to his team. Carey Price's name comes up. Well, another guy's established himself, and you can see here with his physical strength, no doubt about it. But PK Subban does a lot more. That's a power play goal. He has 6 of them, and that leads the Montreal Canadiens.
But they're a bit banged up, Denny, back on defense.
I'll tell you what, if you watch PK Subban, you may see him a lot tonight. Played 35 minutes against Toronto, played over 30 minutes against Ottawa, and these fellas right here, Gonchar and Emelin, are steady defensemen that are out of the lineup. Gonchar has played almost 1,300 games in the NHL. It'll be a different back line for Montreal tonight. A lot of youngsters back there.
The Panthers roll with the same lineup for Gerard Gallant, who's seen his team pick up points in consecutive games. Part of the recent success, the new look effective power play. It's been clicking at a strong rate of late. Bill Lindsay with the powerful scoop next. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by your South Florida Lexus dealers. Proud sponsor of the Lexus Rink at the BB&T Center. By ADT, the most trusted name in security. Call 1-800-510-9067 for your free ADT quote. And by Subway. Visit Subway.com. Subway. Skate hard, eat fresh. Panthers skating this morning here at the Bell Center. Tonight, well, Bill Lindsay joins us with a look at what's working for the Cats on the power play.
Thanks, Goldie. Good one on tap here in Montreal. Panthers facing one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And if they want to get a win, they're going to have to get some power play goals. And the power play has been really good for the Panthers of late, doing the job. And what you're seeing on the Panthers power play is much better puck movement. They've gone to that 4-forward rotation, and it's worked. They have 10 power play goals coming out of the All-Star break. UC Jokinen wide open in the slot. This tremendous individual effort by Thomas Fleischmann. But it's on the stick. It's off the stick. They're getting the opposition running around. Looks like it's much more in sync, on the same page for the Panthers. It's done some damage. Only 17 goals before the break. That was in 44 games. Since the break, they have 10 goals, 25%. That is good for the 5th in the NHL. Tonight, they're facing a very stingy penalty kill. The Montreal Canadiens have the 7th best penalty kill in the NHL. They're 13 for 14 since February 5th. The Panthers' power play has to be sharp. And they're facing one of the best goaltenders in the the NHL, Carey Price. Back to you, Goldie.
Thanks, Billy. It was a thriller the last time these two teams played at the sold-out BB&T Center. The Canadiens won a shootout. The raucous Montreal crowd will be ready tonight. The Cats and the Habs are next. Here we go from the Bell Center in Montreal. Second of 5 meetings this season between the Panthers and the Canadiens. And the Barkov line begins, and we are underway. A late scratch for Montreal. Alex Galchenyuk reportedly sick. Not on the Canadiens lineup as the Panthers shoot in. And here is Carey Price, who has just been blistering hot in goal for the Canadiens. Desharnais over the line. Desharnais moves down low. Sweeps behind Luongo's net. Tries to stuff it home. Boys flips it to the boards. Former Panther Tom Gilbert swatted at it and held it in the zone. Here's Gallagher. Puts it out in front all the way through the slot. Beaulieu, the defenseman, took the shoulder from Brad Boyes. Canadiens opening shift, spending it in the Panther zone. Pacioretty. Over to Beaulieu, flips one wide. Desharnais. Checked by Barkov. Brian Campbell over to play it. Flips it up the boards and gets it out, and the Cats will get a change.
No surprise in the Montreal Forum. They now call it the Bell Center, better known as the Old Forum. They have a quick start. Montreal traditionally has done this, but they did play last night in Ottawa, had a poor game, so no surprise that they're coming out with a lot of hustle.
Panthers beat the Leafs 3-2 the other night to open this 5-game road trip. It's Bolin centering Fleischmann and Upshaw. Fleischmann and Bolin have both really picked up their game overall and offensively of late. The veteran Plekanec bangs it in off the wall. Chases on Eller with Goodbranson. Canfor back there as well. And here's Plekanec firing it up high. Seacash couldn't handle it. He comes back to center.
So yes, the Montreal Canadiens played last night. The Florida Panthers did not. And this is one of the games that the Florida Panthers are playing where Boston is not playing this evening.
No, the evening games after tonight. Bruins lost a shootout last night at Edmonton. What a wild shootout. It was a 12-rounder, so 24 shooters, only 1 goal. Edmonton finally scored in the bottom of the 12th.
Now we can talk about that afterwards. We're going to go to what I think is more important right now. 2 Olympians. Yes, they're both Canadian, both Olympic goaltenders. Roberto Luongo going in net against Carey Price. Right now, probably the lead man in the Hart Trophy race. Roberto Luongo, nominee for the Vezina in the past. You've got the best right here.
Panthers win the faceoff, and Hayes had to go off the heel of his stick. Bukestad shoulders Tenorti out of the way. Bukestad working along the wall. De La Rose over to check him. Bukestad still with it. Give to Jokinen. Looking out in front. Throws it in front. Tipped away. Play a song that's strong work along the wall by Bukestad using his size.
You know, that is something that he has been working on, protecting the
turnover. Jokinen in front. Deflected wide. Oh, boy. That was close.
Well, I tell you what, you're playing some young defensemen, and his Patterson only playing in his 2nd game in the NHL this season for the Montreal Canadiens. And that, of course, is due to the amount of injuries this team has.
He's paired up with Tenorti, who hasn't played a whole lot. Another young player. Mike Weaver, the former Panther, scratched tonight as well. PK Subban puts it out in front and set wide by Bourneval.
You see a lot of PK in the offense.
Turnover here. Thomas shoots. Stick save by Luongo.
Because of the young defenseman, Gonchar Emlyn out of the lineup, you may see a lot of ice time for Subban.
I'm thinking he's going to be out there for half the game, and I'm not exaggerating.
And I'll tell you what, one of the keys of the game will certainly be get the puck deep in the zone and make him work. He's got to play 30 or more minutes. Make him tough minutes.
He did leave the game briefly in Ottawa last night before coming back. There was some speculation today in Montreal that perhaps he wouldn't play. Desharnais speeds through center. And Boyes nicely picked his pocket. Barkov gives to Huberdeau. Down the wing, Huberdeau with a shot. That goes wide. Ekblad jumping up. Plays it back down low, but it's past Huberdeau. Pacioretty trying to get a step, but thrown behind him all the way down.
I know, you really got to keep an eye on him, and the youngster Ekblad has just learned that Pacioretty will find a way to get behind you if you keep your eye off him.
Barkov Would have been offside if he came over the line. And this puck catches the Canadiens bench. A whistle. Let's take it up to our Alexis Keys to tonight's game.
Well, very first, get the pucks in deep, and that's what I was talking about. Subban, Markov, little older hockey player in Markov. You want to make them work hard deep down in their own zone. So that's the forward's job right there. And then the forwards, again, take the eyes away from Price. He is the best goalie right now in the NHL. Numbers will show it in every category. You've got to get in front of him so he has trouble seeing the shots coming on him. So far, has not had a lot of trouble. Only seen one shot.
Carey Price 10-1 in his last 11 games, 15-2-1 in his last 18. He's allowed 2 goals or less in 19 of his last 21 starts. You guys got to get all kinds of pucks towards this goaltender if you want to score.
And I was talking to Jimmy Hayes this morning. How do you do it? He goes, well, you're not just going to take a shot and beat him. So you've got to get in there. You got to get a tip. You got to get a rebound, something. Here comes Upshaw. Bolin is the trailer. Upshaw shoots. Bad save by Price.
Well, that's why it's advertised as a big game by goaltenders. Roberto Luongo, last 6 consecutive starts, has not allowed more than 2 goals. You've got the best right here.
Well, the Panthers have been so good in 5-on-5 hockey over the last few weeks. I mean, we're giving up less than a goal a game when they're even strength. Bjugstad, nice play to work it free. Bjugstad got a back pass stolen away by Eller. Shane O'Brien is Willie Mitchell still day-to-day. Skating is the Panther captain, but out of the lineup. 2-on-1. Bjugstad with Hayes. Bjugstad shoots, and it's deflected up and out of play by Markov.
I tell you what, there's a reason why Markov plays with Subban. Subban will make a mistake right there. He probably figures I should have been called a penalty, but he turns the puck over by being a little too nonchalant in the neutral zone. Markov, the veteran defenseman, is then playing a 2-on-1 and plays it beautifully.
PK Subban loves to hold on to the puck there, held on it too long, and there's that pressure you want against Subban. Denny, pressure him, and that turnover quickly the other way. He's a gambler.
That's exactly right, Billy. That's exactly what the Florida Panthers have had a taste of what you can do against a dynamic, but sometimes careless Subban.
Pacioretty finds Manny Malhotra, the veteran, moving over the blue line. Subban now jumping up. Dropped it off, nobody home. Campbell goes the other way. Kopecky is with him. Campbell flips it in front, knocked down before he could get it to Kopecky.
Oh, what an ideal position just to get the shot on goal. Campbell was trying to lay a pass in there where the chances are about 2% of completing. Had about 98% chance of getting a shot on goal.
Gallagher down the wing, drop for Desharnais, puts it out in front, deflected on goal, and Luongo the save on Gilbert. 2 aside behind Luongo's net. Free to the boards for Sean Thornton. And Kopecky tips it down the ice.
Now that was Gilbert, the defenseman, that went in on that play all the way into Roberto Luongo. Doesn't seem that Michel Therrien has his team playing much like he told me before the game they would. Says he likes a tight game. Well, having a young, well, not so young, but having a defenseman like Gilbert jumping in on the offense doesn't seem like they're holding back.
Borneball, watched by Goodwanson. He gets it deep. Borneball and Camphor now at the end boards. Barkov back to help out. Huberdeau picks it free and gets a little space.
I can tell you from personal experience, if you're born in part of French Canada, it's always great to play in Montreal. Jonathan Huberdeau, born in Quebec.
Petrovic paired up with Shane O'Brien. On defense for the Panthers. There's the shoot-in. Upshaw trying to get after it. But Beaulieu knocked it away and takes away.
Rob Martel's got to be a little more cognizant of where the puck is. I think the referee lost sight of it, therefore ended up slightly interfering with Upshaw.
Just underway here in Montreal. Roberto Luongo, Carey Price, and we're scoreless. Tie matchup tonight. Carey Price, Roberto Luongo, our goaltenders here in Montreal. Billy?
Awesome goaltending matchup tonight between Carey Price and Roberto Luongo. Talked about allowing 2 goals or less in a hockey game. These two are some of the best at creating that. And for the season, 2 goals or less allowed in the game. Pekka Rinne, 33. Carey Price right behind him at 31. Luongo 5th on that list with 28. You got to figure this is going to be a low-scoring affair between these two teams. These two goaltenders coming into this game playing their best hockey of the season. Carey Price, guys, he's a former Tri-City American. That's where I played junior hockey. Another notable goaltender that came out of Tri-Cities, Olaf Kolzig.
Well, this is expected to be a low-scoring game here tonight. We'll see how it pans out. Brian Campbell deep in his own zone. Round the boards. De La Rose knocked it down, and then the puck goes into the netting and out of play. Baptist Health has our scratches tonight as the Panthers roll with the same lineup. Sean Bergenheim, the healthy scratch up front. Dmitry Kulikov serving game 3 of his 4-game suspension. He's eligible to come back Sunday in Pittsburgh. Willie Mitchell day-to-day skating. Brandon Peary. Well, the Panthers would love to get him and his goal-scoring ability back in the lineup soon. With an upper body injury, he's out.
Well, you know what? They're going to work on him getting well rested and back into physical shape as the Florida Panthers drive for the playoffs. And that's exactly what teams are trying to do when they have injuries. We talked about the injuries for the Montreal Canadiens. Everybody gets them at one time or another. But you hope that these guys are able to get back in top form before the playoffs start. Except the Florida Panthers would probably want Peary, Goldie, to get back a little earlier because of his scoring prowess.
He was on quite a roll. Puck deflects into the Canadiens bench. Another stoppage.
Michel Therrien told me before the game that, you know, his team has really struggled against teams that are in non-playoff positions in the NHL right now. And that's been something all season long. And he said, you know, he said one of the problems is that we just don't play very well, and we get away from our game plan. And when I said, what is that? He says, well, we need to play a tight game. If we allow 3 goals, we're in trouble. So you can see the similarities between Montreal and the Florida Panthers. They're not high-scoring teams. Matter of fact, Montreal is 23rd in offense in the NHL.
Gudbranson shoots, blocked away in front.
So both these teams need to play and stick to their game plans, even if though they're playing against a team that seems inferior in the standings.
Here's Gallagher down low. Makes a move, gets around. Gallagher from the sharp angle. Decides to go up high for Subban. Subban again takes a shot, blocked away in front. Good play by Gudbranson, position well.
Really strong defense by the Panthers. Kept everything to the outside when the shot did come. Eric Gudbranson, that positioning. Didn't get tied up with the forward. He played in front of the forward, allowed him to block the shot.
He had to look down, Billy, because it was Desharnais. He's only like 5'2".
Could be a jockey at Calder, no problem.
No, you're right about the positioning. That's exactly what you want. You want to keep your stick free as well to be able to get to the puck if there's a loose one.
Thornton clears to center. Kopetsky pops it in the zone. Price will play it. Beaulieu able to get it up the wall. Lars Eller. And now the veteran Plekanec. Trying to dance down the boards. McKenzie with a big hit there. Petrovic bangs Seacash. And O'Brien clears to center. Beaulieu right back on it. Rushing in over the Panther line. Plekanec up high. Takes a shot deflected right through the slot by Eller.
And Dennis, to your point, the Montreal Canadiens getting in trouble when they allow more than 3 goals. 31 of their 37 wins, they've allowed 2 or less.
There you go.
So only 6 times.
Turnover here. Barkov to Huberdeau. Huberdeau in front. Trying to make another move and then got hit hard by Tenorti. And it's taken away by Beaulieu. A few turnovers here in the opening 10 minutes of the game by Montreal. Panthers Panthers haven't gotten really good chances off those turnovers, though, for the most part.
And I'll tell you why. I mean, Barkov had the best chance of all had he not passed the puck. Barkov playing in his 100th NHL game tonight. I asked him, how does it feel? He said, well, it's just another game. But right there, he showed you why I always say you need 300 games to be a full NHL player and show the world what you got. Barkov's got to learn a little more.
We remain scoreless midway through the first here in Montreal. Well, it's been a tight game so far. 10 minutes in, not a lot of scoring chances either way in this game.
You know, we just talked about how low scoring these two teams are. Florida Panthers get a turnover here. Huberdeau makes the one pass. That was a one-timer setup. Huberdeau laid the puck right in Barkov's wheelhouse, and he didn't take the opportunity to shoot. He gave it back to Huberdeau, who was covered. That is maybe one of the examples of why the Panthers don't get as many goals as they are going to get in the future. Young guys like Barkov learning. That's going to be a shot in years to come.
Tom Gilbert broke his stick. He gets one back and now reaches for the puck, but missed it. Barkov bearing down on Beaulieu. Forces a turnover. Huberdeau puts it out in front. Boys was being held there by Gilbert. Pacioretty had a little trouble, but able to get it ahead for Gallagher. These two teams will play 3 more times. 5 meetings this season. They've only played one. Canadians won that super hockey game. It was a 2-1 shootout win back on December 30th. Remember, Bjugstad tied that game in the third period. Put right in front. Price sticks it away. After that game, Bjugstad signed that 6-year contract with the Panthers. Eller breaks down the wing. Backhander on goal. And then Luongo makes a save from below the goal line on Plekanec. Plekanec again. Eller is a big man when he holds onto that puck along the wall, as you can see. But Branson stays right with him. Bolin helps out. Plekanec from the point. Luongo the save and no rebound. Don't miss the Panthers' next home game as they will battle Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, and the Chicago Blackhawks. After the road trip, the Cats are home a week from tonight, taking on the Blackhawks. Go to FloridaPanthers.com for a full schedule of upcoming games. After this road trip, the Panthers will have 22 games left this season. 15 of them will be at the BB&T Center. Gerard Gallant's team trying to get within a point of a playoff spot tonight.
Called a big star, right, with the media. Gerard Gallant getting a lot of attention by the media here. He said he loved it. Had a great 2 years.
Put right in front and deflected wide.
That was as an assistant coach, of course, and given a lot of credit for helping this team in their penalty killing and power play and a lot of other things that assistant coaches help out with.
Rust. Holding. Turning and shooting. Bouncing in front. Ekblad and Campbell back on D. And Campbell able to get it ahead. Jokinen couldn't quite control. Bjugstad put the heat on Subban, who swats it out to center. And it was touched with a high stick.
The Montreal Canadiens, we just found out, this is after warm-up, that Galchenyuk, one of the fine young players for this hockey team who's got 16 goals, is not going to be in the lineup because of the flu. So Michel Therrien, this is where coaching really comes in, I think. Now he's got to mix lines, and I'm trying to follow the combinations of these lines. I've got half a page done already. Well, these coaches, I tell you what, they know their stuff.
Boys with some good pressure, but then Gilbert able to slap it all the way down. Shane O'Brien filled in very nicely for the Panthers a couple of times this year. He's been called up. Got into a fight the other night in Toronto. Outlet pass. Thomas. Played back by Petrovic. Now Huberdeau in the battle, but Thomas able to get away with it. Tenorti goes cross ice. Beaulieu slides it down low. Malhotra couldn't control. Petrovic does. Spins away, and it rolls to Brad Boyes, who gets out of the zone. This puck is on goal, so no icing.
This Montreal team is very fast. It's important for the Panthers to have back pressure from their forwards, allow the defensemen to stand up.
You know, Gallagher gets in here. Camphor is there with him. And the Panthers win the battle along the wall. Upshaw got it out. Gets the red line and dumps in. They like to get to work behind that goal and start banging the D.
You know, this is where when you talk about or hear people talk about, you know, dumping the puck in the proper way, you want to put it where the goalie's not going to be able to handle it.
And this puck deflected off the stanchion, actually went up and out of play.
Goldie, you like the way Kemper's been playing. Well, what you were telling me today about a very interesting statistic for the young man.
Well, he's played 7 games now for the Panthers, Danny, and I really, you know, they haven't been giving up many goals, and I was wondering how often he's been on the ice.
Yeah.
He's been on the ice for 1 goal allowed, and that was the 6-on-4 goal late in the game in Toronto the other night.
I tell you what, with any measure you want to put on players, whether they're forwards or defensemen, we call them all skaters, that's one heck of a stat. You just, and this is all goals. I mean, whether you're killing a penalty or power play shorthanded goal or 5-on-5. So Kemper, who's getting a lot of attention now, has played very well for the Florida Panthers with the injuries to Mitchell, suspension of Kulikov. Basically, the depth guy has come up and played really well.
He's been on the ice for 3 goals for.
The depth in the Panthers organization right now probably the deepest it's been in many, many years.
He told me today, he says he'd like to get to close to 200 pounds, about 193 now. He led the team in hits in Toronto. And that's one of the reasons why he'd be a little stronger.
Seacash gives to Plekanec. Backhander in front. Campbell read it, knocked it away. And the puck catches the netting out of play. Tight checking game here in the first in Montreal. The Cats and Canadiens scoreless. Welcome back to History-Rich Montreal. You know about the hockey tradition here. And in case you're wondering, tonight behind the goals, the number 4 in the ice, that's for the late, great Jean Beliveau, who passed away back in December. He had his seat here at the Bell Center for every game. Well, look what they've done with his seat right behind the Habs bench. The number 4 on the seat, it remains empty for every home game. It remains lit up. As great of a player as Beliveau was on the ice, Denny, he was that much more loved in the hockey community here in Montreal off the ice.
And anywhere in Canada that anybody could speak French. I grew up in French Canada, and I tell you, he was an idol of mine as well as everybody in our family. And I can't say that it was because of the position he played. He was a centerman. He was tall and thin, so he certainly wasn't looking much like our family. But I tell you what, it was a composure. And whenever they introduce the title of an ambassador to a hockey team, meaning a retired player who takes an ambassadorial role for an NHL team, well, the epitome was Jean Beliveau.
And there are some games that seat will be occupied. It will be by his wife, Elise. She does still attend some games.
Very classy, of course, by the Canadians. Jimmy Hayes down low. Jokinen takes over. Stolen though. Lars Eller gave it back to Jokinen. No shoot in. This is what Jimmy Hayes was telling me this morning, right here in this position. This is where the Panthers have to get to work. Those pucks down low and start banging on the D. And get some pucks right in front of Carey Price. Try to bang a couple home. Panthers hold it in. Camphor to give to Jokinen. Back for Camphor. He slides it over to Goodbranson. Putting it in front. It came right through the slot. Goodbranson tried for the pass. Goodbranson again goes cross ice. Deflected. Jokinen settles it down. And now the Canadians in control of the puck. Subban after it. And he's got some room. With a couple of opportunities here, the Panthers have had to shoot the puck on Carey Price. They've tried for the extra pass.
You know what? I mean, with the head up and the wrist shot, I'm not sure why Goodbranson didn't just go for the shot on goal.
Loose in front now. Huberdeau got a piece of it, but Price will cover. Gear up for the racing season with the NASCAR Race Hub. It's the daily show of record for NASCAR Nation. Catch NASCAR Race Hub weeknights at 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming on Fox Sports Go.
We're seeing much more activity in front of Carey Price. There's a good reason for that. The game has not changed in terms of pace. But the puck is going towards the Montreal Canadiens zone a lot more now as the Panthers have picked up their game.
Huberdeau for Boys. Boys loses Beaulieu, but the centering pass knocked away by Malhotra. Barkov closed on him quickly.
And that's the pursuit in the offensive zone. Barkov leading the way. You get right on the puck handler, right in their zone, in their backyard. They don't get a chance to move the puck much. Why was that waved off?
Yeah, no icing there. Panthers, I think, thought it would be. Now, De La Rose shoots. Oh, glove save. Luongo got a piece of it. Gilbert at the point. Waits. Floats it around. Beaulieu on the pinch. Ekblad. And that one catches the netting. And a stoppage of play.
Well, this is where we thought there might have been an icing. Obviously, Ekblad was ahead of Prost, but no whistle. Prost then makes the save, or the shot, I should say. No, again, the pass, and then creates an opportunity for the shot on goal. Kind of trickles by Roberto Luongo, but all of it could have been a bit of a surprise.
Tinordi off the draw, knocked down by Fleischmann. Trying to beat Tinordi to the puck. Tinordi got back. But Bolin takes away now. Gives to Fleischmann. Tight quarters, he gets checked. Bolin again rolls it around. Pattering for Montreal. Took a big shoulder there from Upshaw. But the Canadians able to get out of the zone.
Pattering's going off the ice. He's hurt.
Put in front. Tipped away by Goodbranson.
Pattering, the defenseman that Upshaw hit.
Subban shot blocked by Upshaw, so we'll see if Pattering gets back in. Are they down to 5D or not?
Well, he may just be winded.
Here's a steal, and McKenzie moves in and shoots. It's blocked away. McKenzie with a chance there.
Yep.
Panthers have picked up a lot of loose pucks, either at the Canadiens' blue line or on their side of center ice.
You know, that's part of why the pace has changed, and it's gone in the matter of the Florida Panthers for now. Some turnovers by the Montreal Canadiens, some passes that have been errant passes along that very blue line you're talking about, Goldie. One of those turnovers by this man, PK Subban, have led to opportunities.
Just turned it over again, just burped it up.
You know, sometimes you get that responsibility. You know, a lot of injuries, you think you're going to do more, but that's just irresponsible. I mean, his teammate wasn't even ready for the pass. That's why little nonchalant there by Subban twice got the puck turned over. But remember, he came back in the third period last night after being hit with a shot on the foot. And the locals say that he wasn't the same in the third period. Maybe the foot is bothering him to the point where he's just not feeling like he can skate as well as he normally does.
Heller clears it to the Panther line. Petrovic got a stick on it. O'Brien will settle it down.
Not a lot in between with PK Subban. It's either really good or really bad.
O'Brien lost his stick. Seacash puts it in front. Hayes back defensively to make the play. And Bjugstad, a center, flips in.
The stick must have been broken. I can't imagine he throw a stick like that.
Well, I think he thought Seacash knocked it out of his hands. He kind of threw his arms up.
Yeah.
Boy's got a piece of the puck, but it stays in the zone. Cross puts it down low. Here comes Beaulieu down the boards, throwing it on goal. Save Luongo. Big rebound, and Boys is off to the races. Huberdeau through center. Flips it in front. Boys couldn't quite get a stick on it, and harmlessly rolls on goal. Be there for Panthers home games. Bring your family, friends to a Cats game with a family 4-pack. Packages start at $99. Go to FloridaPanthers.com or call 954-835-PUCK. Stretch run. Looks like it's going to be a thrilling race. Panthers still with 3 more games left against the Bruins. So they trail by 3 points in the East. Cross trying to get into the Panther zone. Ekblad got back.
Well, you hear the boos, but it appeared as though Prost just kind of fell over on his own.
Campbell knocked it away from Prost. Huberdeau patiently waits. Couldn't get the clear. Oh, dangerous here, but then Campbell got a piece of the puck, and this time Huberdeau will get out. And it's a 3-on-2. The lead pass, no, stolen away.
Now that was read like a letter.
Here comes Weiss on the backhand. Kicked out by Roberto Luongo.
Tough shit for Jonathan Huberdeau right there. A couple of very poor decisions, including the pass, telegraphing it. Everybody knew where that puck was going.
And the Panthers don't want a lot of fancy in their game, especially against this Montreal team.
Particularly when the keys are get the puck in deep.
And get to work. Bang the D around a bit.
Well, most of you know I played for the NHL a little bit, played defense. I must have done my 300th interview today on Aaron Ekblad. Every place we go, everybody's very interested in how and why. How is it that an 18-year-old boy can play with such poise? Why is this happening? Well, right now, I've run out of answers, and I just said, look, he comes from an incredibly good family. And that's exactly, he's got poise, he's got great manners, and he does everything well so far. And, listen, he's playing in a game right now that is tough. And I say that because for Aaron Ekblad, he's now playing his 57th game in the NHL in his first year, coming out of junior where they only played weekend games.
He is a real pro, and not many teenagers walk into really any job. You could take any job and act like they've been there for 10 years. Aaron Ekblad has done just that, both on and off the ice. Icing call here on the Canadiens.
Well, I'm not the only one, obviously, that has to answer questions about this youngster here, budding superstar, but Coach Gallant had to answer questions as well, and I think Coach Gallant put it better than anybody. He just said, look, he's just a wonderful young man to speak to. And that says a lot about his character, which is a big part of what Dale Talon will describe as anybody who plays for his team. He wants to have that very much as part of the package.
Jokinen in the circle here now for the Panthers. See if they can win the draw, get a chance, but Subban takes away. And able to flip it out to center. Final seconds of the opening period. Campbell. And that'll do it after one. We remain scoreless. Carey Price, Roberto Luongo. Goaltending matchup tonight. No surprise we haven't had any goals yet.
No surprise, especially with the amount of turnovers we've had in critical areas. So the Florida Panthers, Montreal Canadiens, not a perfect game so far, but the pace has been excellent.
We're at our first intermission here at the Bell Center in Montreal. We'll hear from Brian Campbell. Panthers defenseman Stephen Kampfer. Bill Lindsay had a chance to chat with him this morning. And all the analysis of the opening period coming up from Montreal. The Panthers and Canadiens, no score. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by South Florida Ford. Online, it's southfloridaford.com. And by Doctors Hospital for Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Visit us at baptisthealth.net/ortho. Game 2 of the Panthers' 5-game road trip. They started off with a win in Toronto. They continue the Canadian swing in Montreal tonight. We're scoreless after one. Part of the Canadiens Museum here inside the Bell Center. Look at the old locker room from the Forum with the old names and jerseys. Before we start the second period, we take a look at some of those opportunities the Panthers had off turnovers.
Well, every decade there's turnovers, and the other team's got to make something happen. The Florida Panthers have had the puck handed to them, 3 or 4 times officially, and have not been able to do it. Like, watch this play here. That should have been a one-timer shot. That was a great pass by Jonathan Huberdeau. As far as I'm concerned, he took a little off it for the one-timer. Barkov did not decide to take it. Roberto Luongo in the first period. Not a lot of action, but a little frenzied action around the net. He faced 11 shots. And Carey Price, who the Florida Panthers want to try and get in front of him. Part of the keys is take his vision away. He only saw 6 shots. Barkov, the youngster, celebrating his 100th NHL game tonight and continues to learn. And I tell you what, A lot of accolades to this young man. The one thing that he certainly has done like an experienced player, he knows how to play the defensive side of the puck. More confidence will bring more offense. He has it.
19-year-old Barkov back in his own zone here. Camper plays it around for Boys. Good Branson trying to jump up and join the play. Boys flips it over the line, but taken away by Tom Gilbert. Spins it around the boards. Camper slides back to his own line, and look out. Steal by Desharnais. Drop pass behind Pacioretty, though. He now shoots right on goal. The deflection by Gallagher. And Luongo a big stop.
I'll tell you what, that is as great a stop as you want, because Gallagher had a perfect deflection in front of the net. These are things that you can't do anything about. You only hope that when you've squared yourself to, this time, the shooter, which would be Pacioretty up high, 67, as you can see, you're hoping that you're squaring yourself so you cover as much as the net as possible. Gallagher had terrific deflection, even better save. So the Florida Panthers now are looking at a team that's going to come out real hard. If this is anything like the first period, Montreal's going to dominate early, and then the Florida Panthers seem to get their legs. And I am not saying that it's good to be reactionary, but so far it appears as though that's the way the Panthers have played in this game. They react more than initiate.
Face-off win, and the Cats clear. Campbell now. Yeah, he gets it deep in the zone. Patterson, who took that hit in the opening period, is back out there. Bolin with a bump there. Not his man, Tinordi.
We're seeing a little bit of that follow through. Now, Tinordi's a big man, much bigger than both Bolin and McKenzie, but you don't have to run him hard. Just make sure you get contact. Watch this. Yeah, again, good contact by Upshaw, forcing Tinordi to move the puck quickly.
Thomas Fleischmann. Upshaw now. Down low for Dave Bolin. Put it in the corner. Paddling with Fleischmann. Good hit by Fleischmann. Petrovic on the pinch, but he couldn't hold it in. Tinordi to center. And he'll float it deep into the Panthers zone. As the Canadians go for a line change, the Panthers get the Bukestad line on, and Hayes at the blue line trying to get around Subban. Subban's pass hit the official. Now it's UC Jokinen looking in front, puts it in front. Oh, Hayes was denied by Price. Jimmy Hayes was right on the doorstep where he should have been.
You may say, well, Carey Price just happened to have his pad there. No, Carey Price had great position.
And another Hayes shot deflected by Subban up and out of play.
Ole Jokinen, who I thought may have been one of the Florida Panthers' best players in Toronto, made this pass. 12 right in front of your screen. Look at that. He's all alone. And Carey Price has the right pad there. Watch this. Extending the right leg and makes the play. He makes it look easy. That save was great.
As I mentioned in the first period, talked to Hayes this morning. He said the only way you beat Price is like that. Tips, rebounds. We got to get into that blue paint. He certainly did there, but Price was up to the challenge.
And Jokinen pass, you got to get it in there crisply, and he did exactly that.
Thomas down the board shoots. Luongo with a glove save the other way.
The impressive thing about Jokinen is that you can't put your finger on it. There's a lot of different things. For UC Jokinen, the Florida Panthers got the first power play goal for him in Toronto. But here's the kicker. 5 third-period face-offs, 3 of them in the offensive zone during the power play, and he won them all.
Signed a 4-year contract, year 1 for Jokinen as he moves in, try to get it past Subban. Jokinen trying to recover now, but Desharnais takes away.
Yeah, just to clarify, it wasn't just third period, but the 5 face-offs that he won, 3 of them during power play.
Pacioretty shot, stop by Luongo, and then they score. Gallagher on the rebound.
You know what? That is exemplary of what we always talk about, what every coach talks about. Get any shot you can on net. And that's exactly what happens. The puck will go to a Pacioretty, he only gets a shot on net. He's not trying to score, but the rebound ends up being right there for Gallagher in between the legs of Roberto Luongo. 2 goals he has scored in consecutive games against the Florida Panthers. Gallagher is the one who got the game-deciding goal in the shootout back in South Florida when the Panthers were beaten by the Montreal Canadiens.
Kopetsky battling behind the net. Taken by Plekanec. Lars Eller couldn't settle it down, thrown back towards the net. So moments after Price makes that big save on Hayes in front, Gallagher able to stuff home a rebound, and the Canadiens have the lead. A great way to check out a Panthers game. A private suite at the BB&T Center. Packages start at $500 per game, including tickets, parking, and your own suite attendant. You can speak with a premium seating executive calling 954-835-PUCK.
Well, that's 100 points now for Brendan Gallagher as a Montreal Canadian. So a little bit of a milestone, but he's much happier getting his team a 1-goal lead.
De La Rose chops it into the Panther zone. Barkov flips to center. Trust throws it all the way down under pressure. It's icing on Montreal.
And on that goal by Brendan Gallagher, that was 2-on-2. Eric Gudbranson just lost positioning. 2-on-2, you got to make sure you get back and just another pay attention. Number 44, Gudbranson, Gallagher just skates right by him. Leaves his positioning, all of a sudden it's in the back of the net. Brendan Gallagher only had 1 goal in his last 11 games. Only his 2nd goal in 12 games now for Gallagher, but that was a 2-on-2 battle the Panthers lost.
Boys off the draw, able to play it. Petrovic on the line. Shot deflected by Weiss. And puck did come out of the zone. It's offside on the Panthers. So the margin of error, guys, in this game is just so slim with Carey Price in goal.
Well, you're absolutely right, and that's why you've got to direct many more pucks. I mean, at Carey Price, the Florida Panthers have had chances. They have not done it. You just want to be able to test the guy, because you know what? Buffalo has beaten Carey Price twice this season already. There are teams that are not even looking at any hope of playoff spot have beaten the Montreal Canadiens, and a lot of them you can take a look, and the shots were just a lot of shots from everywhere. Ended up going in.
They played the backup, Dustin Tokarski, last night in Ottawa. They lost to the Senders, saving Price for the Panthers tonight. Gilbert on the line, goes cross ice. Desharnais comes out in front. Tip towards the blue line. Canadians able to hold it in. Pacioretty after the puck here. Barkov got a piece of it. Desharnais, and now the shot from the boards, blocked by O'Brien. He'll reverse it. Gilbert on the pinch, and that puck deflects and goes up over the glass.
Jonathan Huberdeau has had, just like every other youngster, hot and cold periods during the year. We talked about Bjugstad being highlighted at the beginning of the game. Well, Nick Bjugstad took him 10 games to get his first goal this season for the Florida Panthers. Jonathan Huberdeau was the reason why the Florida Panthers had such a great trip to the West Coast. Remember those games, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton? He was outstanding in the 3rd star of the week at that time. But the trouble with young guys is trying to be consistent. And right now the Florida Panthers are looking for that from Jonathan Huberdeau.
Bolin bearing down on Tinordi. Upshaw gloves it down. Work down low. Fleischmann now in there. Swings it to the point, but out of the reach of Camper. It'll come all the way down.
Got to get shots against Carey Price. Price came in this one, only giving up 3 goals in his last 4 games. As this one banks out, it's going to be a penalty.
If it went directly out, it's a delay of game.
Oh, boy.
So Panthers going to be shorthanded, maybe for the first time in this game.
The Branson to the box.
I was just mentioning on Price, he came into this one game, he had stopped 110 of 113 shots in his last 4 games.
Well, there you see it goes directly out. And if the referees didn't see it, every Montreal Canadian had their arm up.
Well, this Panther penalty kill really needs to bear down now. Early in the hockey game still with 15 to go in the second. But you don't want to go down with this team by a pair. Canadians control. Desharnais up to the point. Markov, it's past him. Kopetzky's going to put a little heat on Subban here. Kopetzky. And Subban. Now Desharnais through center. Flips it to the wing for Pacioretty. Round the boards, Gallagher controls. Subban. Kopetzky right there with him. Pacioretty now, an open man on the far side. Markov, centering feed. Kopetzky was there to play it.
Better take away the points on the power play. Markov and Subban have combined for 10 goals and 30 points on the power play. They lead the team in points from the back end on the PP.
Jokinen and Bolin, the Panther forwards. Camford, O'Brien on the blue line. Subban at the line, turned away by O'Brien. Bolin puts the pressure on him. Subban bats it ahead. Seacash down the wing. O'Brien met him well.
Boy, that's good defending by the Panthers. They seem to be blocking off the passing lanes for both Markov and Subban.
Seacash gets in on the backhand. Luongo with the glove, and he'll hold it.
Now, in penalty killing, the Florida Panthers, go hot and cold, but they're 25th in the league. But on this segment right here, they were really strong at blocking off those passing lanes, so nothing was able to develop. And the bottom line is you just don't want to give the opposition with the man advantage time to set up in your zone.
Played to the point off the draw. Beaulieu over to Pacioretty. Desharnais now stops and takes a look. Desharnais holding, goes to the point. Desharnais again. Here's Pacioretty. Gallagher's out in front. Pacioretty has an opening, moving in. Cross-ice feed to shut. Luongo makes the stop on Gilbert. Gilbert pressured by Ekblad. Bouncing puck. Desharnais down low. Pacioretty again as the power play ends. Desharnais throws it cross ice. Here's the shot glove save. Luongo. The Panthers able to do the job on the penalty kill. They held the Canadians just one shot on goal on that power play, and it remained 1-0. Through earlier in the period, the goal by Brendan Gallagher. It's 1-0 Montreal.
And Goldie, the Panthers right in the middle of that playoff chase. The big time, this is the most important time for the Panthers. Can this young talent hold up down the stretch? They are hunting down the Boston Bruins. Right now, 3 points behind Boston. As we take a look at the numbers, first in the Atlantic is Montreal at 78 points. That is tied with Tampa Bay. And there you see the Panthers third in that wild card position. 3 points behind Boston. Panthers have 3 games left with Boston. It's going to come down to those head-to-head matchups. If they win those head-to-head matchups, they're going to have a chance. The worst you can do in those 3 games against Boston, I think, guys, is go 2-1. You'd like to go 3-0 or 2-1, something like that. But you cannot have a losing record, I don't think, against Boston head-to-head if you want to get into the playoffs.
Well, they'll play the 3 games in the final 11. So Gerard Gallant, he's asked this morning about playoffs and all these different scenarios. He's like, hey, I got to concentrate in the game tonight. And you really do, as players, of course, need to take it one at a time. But I would agree the first thing the Panthers need to do, though, is get through these 15 games to get to those final 11, having an opportunity against the Bruins.
Well, that's exactly right. That's where you want to be able to say we're still in the race so that you can make those games matter.
Chance here in front. Luongo makes the save. Gudbranson clears the slot. 2 of those 3 games will be at the BB&T Center. The first one March 21st is Saturday night. Canadians still come south twice this year. Seacash down the wing. Gives to Plekanec. Subban overskated. Puck rolling back. Price way out of his net. Jokinen watches him. Price got it cross ice. Now stolen by Bukestad.
What kind of play is that by Subban? What kind of decision is that?
Kind of a dicey one by Price as well.
Well, there's nobody backing him up and the puck's bouncing. Why ever would you take a chance?
Plekanec moves in. Seacash, this trailer, has a man in front, but it eludes Markov. He was all alone for a moment. Off a turnover now. The Canadians hold it in. Put right through Luongo's blue paint. Scotty Upshall. Lead pass. Couldn't connect with Bolin. Petrovic on the clear. Tenorti bats it back the other way. Tenorti through center and over the Panther line. Throws it wide of the net. And Scotty Upshall with room. Into the Montreal zone. Puts it in front. Price easily steers it away. Dale Weiss, bumped by Fleischmann, who got a piece of the puck. Fleischmann trying to control. De La Rose does and clears.
Panthers have to find a way to stop this trend of giving up the first goal. They've been playing a lot of catch-up hockey of late.
Here comes Barkov. Huberdeau. Spinning it in front. Tipped away by Tenorti. Huberdeau again gets away from Patterson. Centering pass stolen by Klust. And Patterson plays it safe. Goes off the glass to get it out. Here's Barkov again now for the Panthers. Getting around one man. And then dumping in. Gilbert. Able to spin away. And this puck deflects into the Montreal bench.
You know, we talk about the puck getting deep as one of the keys, but the other thing that uses common sense is you try and keep it away from the goaltender. But here, a mistake by Subban, and all of a sudden, Carey Price not only can handle the puck pretty well, but has good skating ability to get out there and cover for his defenseman, who had taken a decision at the offensive blue line that could have turned out to be a 2-on-0. And that's what Carey Price was able to stop by getting out and handling the puck.
Thornton puts it in behind the net. Here's Price again with it. Gilbert spinning away. Under pressure. Panthers get the turnover. Thornton for Kopecky. Kopecky turns and he shoots wide. Carries to Goodbranson at the point, but he couldn't handle it. And Bourneval gets the center. Goodbranson recovered and played him perfectly with the body. And Goodbranson plays it around the wall. Subban knocks it down to hold it in. Kopecky takes back. Brendan Gallagher the goal earlier in the period on a rebound shot from Pacioretty. The only goal of the game so far. Subban, stick handling in front. The backhand, deflected off Goodbranson, and Luongo made the save, and then they score. Gallagher again.
Well, I tell you what, Gallagher is always going to be in front of the net. I'm not so sure how this puck ends up being on Gallagher's stick. Right there, Roberto seemed to want to handle it, never getting a good handle on him. Goodbranson had both feet on the puck, meaning it rattled between his feet, never could get a handle on it. And then Gallagher is right there to step on and surprises Roberto with a quick shot.
And there you can see some of the brilliance of PK Subban in traffic. A spin around move backhander, got that puck on net.
Well, he can hang on to the puck. He's very strong, Subban, and he was not challenged inside the Florida Panthers zone. Well, that allows four other guys to get in place.
Well, the Canadians with some desperate play, and they get a couple of goals right in front of the net off rebounds and loose pucks. That was the Panthers' game plan. Montreal's been able to do it. Price the save on Bukestad. And then stolen by Pacioretty. Canadians have come out in the second and have taken it to the Panthers. They have been the hungrier team. Hayes flips in. Panthers need to get a change. Petrovic Up the wing, Fleischman got a piece of it. It rolls deep in the zone. Price plays it around the boards. It slows down at the line. Panthers hold it in, thrown in front. Here's a chance, and it's blocked away. Another chance for Fleischman. Score! They answer right back. And the Cats break through on Price. It's 2-1.
In the very same jersey, Thomas Fleischman once had 23 goals for the Florida Panthers. And I tell you what, he is valuable in the sense that he has been playing strong, playing steadily, and he finally gets a shot on goal right here, not waiting, but knowing that Bolin is there. I'm sure Bolin was yelling for the pass, but that's the kind of shot where you're going to beat Price. It was deflected, I think, by Eller. It may have gone on to off of Eller's leg, but you direct the shot on goal, and the rewards are there. And the quickness of the counter by the Florida Panthers is important in this game.
A minute 22 after the second Gallagher goal made it 2-0. The Panthers able to beat Carey Price and get one right back. That is huge for Florida. For Fleischman now, 16 points in his last 26 games. Been picking it up. Here's Huberdeau, sweeping it right through the slot. Couldn't find an open man to get that shot on goal. Turnover, it's Brad Boyes. Saved by Price. And Prust is away with the rebound. Huberdeau gets the assist on the Fleischman goal.
For Brad Boyes that quickly, it could have been a tied-up hockey game. Brad Boyes seemed to hit Carey Price right in the chest.
Ekblad finds Huberdeau. And he shoots in. Panthers get the Bjugstad line on the ice. Pattering up to center, finds Borneval, who chips in. Now Holtra's after it, took the hit from Petrovic. Borneval, the bump on O'Brien, who kicks it around the boards. Nick Bjugstad battling Thomas. And the Panthers able to work it free. Petrovic tried for a clearing attempt, knocked down at the line by Mel Holtra. Now Bjugstad getting some space, but he rolled on him, look out. Borneval hit solidly by O'Brien. Thomas trying to climb out in front. Free puck. Thomas on the backhand. Looking to stuff it home. The long goes down and it's under him.
You know, I don't know if it's because the Montreal Canadiens forwards are smaller or what, but boy, they're getting right into that blue paint. Both goals from a foot away.
As the season moves on, veteran Thomas Fleischman has gotten hot. He has the Panther goal tonight.
He has been playing better. There's no doubt about it. Once had 27 goals for the Panthers, 2011 and 2012. Look at the perseverance here. Maybe look at the good play of defenseman Tom Gilbert for the Montreal Canadiens. You'll see he stops two shots. First, the shot by Huberdeau. That's Gilbert. Second shot by Fleischman. That's Gilbert. This third shot by Fleischman goes off the leg of Eller, and no chance for Carey Price.
Gilbert at the point with a wrister. Luongo fought through the traffic, you see. Again, Gallagher right there in front of the goaltender. That's where he scored the two goals.
And both goals have come from a foot away from the blue paint. Puck handling is important. And, you know, if we went back all the way, you could probably see where the puck was mishandled by Carey Price on the Panther goal. Had the puck in front of the net, passed it to no one, meaning none of his own teammates. Panthers got 3 shots away, and the third one went in.
Fired up to the point, but Gilbert had to come out of the zone to play it. Bolin, Fleischman, Upshaw on for Florida. Free puck at the line. And Bolin gives to Upshaw. Fleischman again, moving in and shooting, and Price the save, and he's able to gather in the rebound.
Gotta like the way Fleischman is not making any bad decisions. Matter of fact, not hesitating. Maybe that might be the key. He just takes a good look, has the puck, wants to get it by the defender, and gets another shot on goal as Upshaw drops the puck back and goes to the net. You know what? Oftentimes, coaches have said, look, leave your thinking in practice. In the game, just react. There's a reason why you're in the NHL.
Here's Boyes, just under his stick. Looking for a chance in the slot. Petrovic steps up, but unable to hold it in.
Coach said you should tell me if you're thinking you're hurting the team.
I think that's what the producer tells you at the morning skate usually of a game now.
Just react.
Here you set yourself up. And sometimes, Lindsay, you make it a little too easy for me, my friend.
It all goes in the memory bank.
I know it does. Panthers work a turnover. Here's Petrovic putting it behind the net. Huberdeau after it. O'Brien now down low, takes a hit. Huberdeau with Plekanec. Barkov there as well. O'Brien, it just went under and look out. Lars Eller moving in. Petrovic trying to get back. Eller now holds. Picked up by Plekanec. Big save by Luongo with the left shoulder. And Huberdeau clears to center for boys. Seacash out of his own end. He gets it deep. Prust in the race with Ekblad. Prust has the puck.
I'll tell you what, the referees totally missed a play that seemed obvious. Seacash absolutely took the stick right out of the hands of O'Brien. That is absolutely a call that could have been or should have been made.
Canadians here with an easy out. De La Rose to the Panther line. He gets it deep. Gives Campbell a shove. Ekblad trying to dig it out of there. Bukestad in the scrum as well for Florida. De La Rose has it pinned to the boards. Now it's Weiss for Montreal. Turning. Then giving to Prust again. Comes up to the blue line. Markov just swings it around. Hayes steps in front of De La Rose. Hayes used a big body to clear the puck. Nice play by Jimmy Hayes. Jokinen no over skates.
Oh, I think he got thinking.
Subban fires all the way down, and Luongo has to cover. Second period here in Montreal. Luongo makes a big stop there to keep it a one-goal game. Get laid on here in this second period in Montreal. The Canadians continue to have the advantage.
Well, you know, it's a very unsafe and maybe not a legal advantage when you consider, look at the right side of your screen. Defensive play this well. Seacash absolutely slashes the stick out of O'Brien's hand. Watch this. And there is no call made on that play. That is atrocious. And then it comes into a play where it almost turned into a goal. Just not right that on a critical play of that sort, an obvious play where a guy loses his hockey stick, you miss that call. That's tough. Only one penalty call, so maybe there's something going on in terms of we want to make sure we get home early tonight. The referee's got a date, got a dinner, got to play in the catch.
Well, that's possible since we're staying here. That's the latter.
Anyway, only one penalty call. That was to Branson. And, of course, they had to call that because it was puck outside the zone. Or outside the playing area, I should say.
The delay of game call. Panthers killed that off very well. Gallagher walking off the boards. Goodbranson leaned on him. Allows Upshaw to clear ahead for Bolin. And that puck deflected off the glass and went out of play. We invite you to have your next company outing, party, or any kind of gathering at the BB&T Center. Group tickets are available for Florida Panthers hockey. Go to floridapanthers.com or call 954-835-PUCK.
You'd love to see the Panthers get some power play opportunities. That was one of the subjects in our open. They have more than 2 power play goals in a game, 3 times in the last 12 games. That only happened 2 times the previous 98 games. So this Panther power play has been a lot better of late. You'd love to see him get some chances.
It was huge. The game Tuesday, look at Branson, physical whatever. In that win over Toronto, they scored twice. Panthers dump in. Fleischman trying to get to work on the forecheck, and he does. Oh, but it just deflected away. Canadians break the other way. Seacash leads the rush with a shot wide. Carries out, and Bolin catches up to it. 3-on-2 for Florida. Bolin is in. The back check by Seacash.
And that'll win him at regular spots. Seacash has been trying to get one for a long time. Went 7 games where he was a healthy scratch for Seacash. What a pressure coming back. That's the difference in the game today. No disrespect to all my great forwards, but you would never get this kind of play. Look at the 26 in red coming back, just busting it up the ice to back check. Very impressive.
Thornton takes a loose puck here after Kopecky blocked the Subban play to move the puck ahead. And at the line, it's Gallagher. Able to fight off the check. Gallagher with Desharnais. Gallagher is in. Save Luongo. He held his ground. Gallagher, both Canadians' goals tonight. Right in the blue paint. Subban puts it in front. Pacioretty couldn't get a stick on it. Markov at the point with a shot. Blocked by McKenzie. And Brian Campbell has some room. Lead pass Kopecky at the line. Thornton goes to the net. Shot blocked away by Markov. And the veteran Markov lifts it all the way down the ice. Not far enough for icing as O'Brien gets back. Weiss takes the loose puck. Puts it in front. Clear to the boards and UC Jokinen up ahead for Hayes. He finds Bjugstad at center. Nick Bjugstad carrying down the wing with a shot. Price the save. Hayes scoops it up. Bjugstad for Hayes. Try to get it to the point. Petrovic is there. It comes back around. O'Brien slides down the wall. Bangs with Prust. Bjugstad trying to pick it out of there. The battle continues. Hayes is nearby. Prust and O'Brien still go at it, and Hayes resets. Hayes trying to go to work on Beaulieu. Hayes with a bump. Barkov now on Weiss. And they work the turnover. It's Hayes. Barkov down low. Trying to catch up to Gilbert. Canadians able to clear.
Well, the continued pressure in the offensive zone, meaning hitting the defenseman, keeping the pucks in deeper. What's going to turn something for the Panthers here?
Beaulieu able to get it to the line. It bounces into the Panther bench.
You know, Goldie, I just wanted to revisit something we were talking about a little earlier in terms of what the Panthers, I mean, the risk here of not winning these games right now. The Panthers' schedule is very, very favorable. I mean, the whole month of April, they're at home. The last 5 games of the season on home ice. The last 7 of the last 8 games, no, what is it? Yeah, the last 5 games of the season on home ice. So there's no doubt that it could be very favorable for the Florida Panthers. But they need to keep gathering points to stay in that race.
Subban catches up to the puck. Shot wide. Shot from the boards. Luongo got a stick on it. Subban. That was deflected by Huberdeau. Lars Eller down low. Eller still with it. Takes a shot blocked by Goodbranson. But Plekanec's the first man to the puck again. Feeds the point. Subban just flipped it to the boards. Period winds down. And we'll go to the third. With Montreal on 2 goals by Gallagher. Fleischmann answered back for the Panthers. Canadians up by 1.
A period where the Florida Panthers allowed the Montreal Canadiens forwards to get real close to Roberto Luongo. Both goals by Gallagher. He must have had 1 foot in the paint. Couldn't have been further than 1 foot away. Those 2 goals are from lack of being able to clear the net of the puck of the opposing player.
Second remission just ahead. We will pay tribute to Black History Month. We'll have our player spotlight and the highlights of the second. The Panthers on the road tonight here in Montreal. We'll go to the third, trailing the Canadians 2-1. Panthers hockey on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. After a scoreless first period, the Canadians got 2 goals from Brandon Gallagher right there in the blue paint. The Cats would answer back, and that's where we are, headed to the third. Here we go. Teams on the ice for the third period for the Florida Panthers, trying to make it 2 for 2 to start off this 5-game road trip. And the Panthers trying to make up ground in the Eastern Conference. Here it is. Right now, coming in, they only trail the Bruins by 3 points for a playoff spot. And Boston is not in action tonight. This is the game the Panthers have in hand on them. So a big third period coming up for the Cats. Here's a look at Thomas Fleischmann. As showed you during the intermission, the numbers have picked up for Fleischmann. You know, they have that rotation of veterans in and out of the lineup with a healthy bodies. Fleischmann, give him credit. He's persevered through it, and he's come back strong. A look at Roberto Luongo in goal. The Panthers will try to get one puck at least by Carey Price, who is having this MVP-type season with a .935 save percentage. The Barkov line begins the period with Huberdeau and Boyes. Panthers have not had a power play tonight either. Campbell and Ekblad paired up on defense. Campbell forced back, got it through to Ekblad, but unable to clear. Ekblad again, this time gets it out. Boyes shoots in wide of the net. Gilbert, the first man back, hit by Huberdeau. Barkov is there as well, and Boyes helps out. But it comes to center. And poked ahead, Pacioretty. Gallagher charging the net. Pacioretty in front. Gallagher couldn't get a redirection on goal. And now Pacioretty shoots wide. This is the line that produced both goals by Gallagher. And boy, he just spends all night right in the blue paint on you.
Well, it helps out Pacioretty. Pacioretty last season had 39 goals. Right now he's on the pace for 38.
Now, what a scorer he is. Buchanan puts it through the slot. He has scored 25 goals 3 times for Montreal. Max Pacioretty is the only American-born player to ever do that in the Canadiens franchise history. They glance him back. Around it goes for Fleischmann. Moves through center with Bolin and Upshaw. It deflects in towards the net. Price covers.
Well, you talk about Gallagher getting a couple of goals. You know, when you can anticipate what your teammate or line mate's going to do, it gets pretty easy. And that's why Gallagher is thinking things are easy. Pacioretty has the puck. He is our shooter, so it just makes sense that I go to the net. That's why Gallagher has 15 goals on the season, which includes the 2 goals tonight. No decision-making, just reacting.
Subban controls behind his own net. And Markov up ahead for Malholtra under pressure from Jokinen. They force the turnover. Bjugstad waits for the play to get onside, but then it's knocked away. And it's Subban again. Subban under pressure. Bjugstad forced the turnover from Hims, and Branson shoots, saved by Price. Bjugstad again, giving it to Jimmy Hayes. Bjugstad battling Subban one more time. Bourneval. And Bjugstad bats it back down low. Good shift by Bjugstad, Jokinen, and Hayes. Now the Canadiens are able to clear. It will be icing. Panther season seat holders, thanks for watching tonight. Our code word for tonight's game is Stanley. Log on to mypanthersrewards.com. Put in the broadcast code in the next 24 hours. We also welcome all the fans watching at the Panthers watch party at the World of Beer in Kendall tonight down in Dade County. Campbell at the point with a shot on goal. Price the save and no rebound. Kopecky was there in front.
Winning the faceoffs is ultra important from now on. And, you know, the Florida Panthers, McKenzie and Bolin have done a great job of winning faceoffs, but sometimes you need a little help, don't you? And here it is. You've got John Thornton, who goes in there and helps out. John Thornton, having been with the Boston Bruins understands emotion about playing in this building, playing in all of those Bruin-Montreal Canadian rivalry-type matches. It was interesting that Sean Thornton said, it's been a long time since I have not been in the playoffs. So I checked, it was 205, 206 when he played for Chicago. And he said, it's unacceptable for us not to be in the playoffs.
In a stoppage here, the Canadians broke in offside.
Quite an atmosphere down here at ice level. Pretty special place, this building. Montreal, the Bell Center. Played in the old Montreal Forum, as did you, Denny. That was incredible place. But this place here, just looking up around from ice level, every seat is full, and quite an atmosphere here in this building.
You know, Billy, talking about the competition with Boston and Montreal, you were part of it at some point, but Sean Thornton talked openly to reporters today about it, and you know, he did mention, he said, we're aiming for the playoffs. That's what we want. And he says, that's what I expect. Of course, 205, 206 is a member of Chicago Blackhawks. It was the last time he was not in the NHL playoffs.
Look out, this puck goes flying over the Panther bench. And a whistle early in the third.
So part of that veteran group that Dale Talon has brought in, Sean Thornton. And, of course, the Florida Panthers doing pretty well holding their own without Willie Mitchell, their captain, who has been out of the lineup. This is the 8th game that Willie Mitchell has missed with his injury. Panthers are certainly looking forward to him coming back healthy, strong, and maybe more important at this stage of the season, well-rested.
And Fleischmann just got blasted with a late hit.
Brent Petrovic steps in for him. Petrovic and Chinordi, the young defenseman, two of them going at it here. Oh, and Petrovic caught Chinordi with a right hand.
A left hand. It was the left hand.
Yeah. And wow. And
then he just said, look, you can right. And Tinordi had done a great job of hanging on to Petrovic's right hand.
And now others started having some words there after the fight. Patterson and O'Brien. There's the hit on Fleischmann by Tinordi.
Fleischmann looking hurt. That's what you want right there. I don't care. You know, the skirts out there can say whatever they want, but this is very much part of the NHL hockey, and it's not going to go away, and there's a reason for it. And watch how Petrovic waits and waits. He may take a punch or two, but he's waiting for the opportunity to be able to open up and land this one, the left, that just squarely knocks down Tinordi, and an absolutely unmitigated victory by the youngster Petrovic.
That hurts when you get popped on the button. I used to hate fighting left-handers. I fought a little kid in Anaheim. It was a left-hander, and I didn't know he was a left-hander. And he used to grab in the arm to tie it up. And when he's a left-hander, you can't tie it up, and you both throw at the same time. He hit me right on the nose and just bloodied my whole jersey. Petrovic, that left hand got free at the end, and you're right, just popped him right on the button.
Now the key is there going to be an instigator? Well, it looks like Montreal Canadiens are getting a 2-minute penalty.
Well, that's what's on the scoreboard right now anyway. We'll wait till they sort it out.
Would that be a call on the hit? It would have to be. You know, Sean Thornton says, you tell me how you can have an instigator penalty. Of course, he was caught on one a few games ago. When two guys ask each other, do you want to go? They both say yes, and only one guy gets an instigator. How does that work?
That was a terrible call. Sean Thornton backed away and asked him exactly like you said to fight, so that was a strange one.
Billy, this call ends up being an interference call on the Montreal Canadiens. So now the Panthers will get their first power play.
Yeah, they call that not related to the fight. So Borneval serving the penalty there in the box. There's a look at it. Tinordi got the original call with a hit on Fleischmann. Opportunity now for Florida. Last dozen games, that power play has been hot. Top 5 in the NHL. First opportunity tonight. Huberdeau. Lead pass, tipped at the line, and cleared the other way.
Yeah, that was an idea of a play where you drill the pass to your teammate Barkov, and he just deflects it in the zone while on the move.
Offside here as they broke in.
Nice, very nice entry capability with this one. But Barkov's deflection just happened to hit the Montreal Canadiens defenseman. But this is a good entry. Watch what happens. Well, not on this play, but when Barkov went through, the idea is you deflect the puck in deep while you're in full motion, and Barkov was going full speed. Good way to get the entry into the offensive zone with a power play.
Here's Campbell with the 4 veteran forwards. Subban behind the net, right up the middle and all the way down. Trying to get set up here. Campbell, I talked to him this morning, said he likes having a little bit of extra freedom as he's up top with the 4 forwards of that blue line. The players know where each other are going to be. They're able to move the puck quickly, and they can't do it until they get set up, and now a high stick. So a stoppage of play. The puck was played with a high stick.
Well, the 2 guys we highlighted, Billy for the Montreal Canadiens did clear the puck on his last 2 times. Carey Price and Subban.
And Price, you got to keep it away from the goaltender on the power play. Can't dump it in on the goaltender. Price is good at very adept at playing the puck, just clears it out. High stick and calling now the Panthers have a face-off down deep in their zone, but you got to make a better decision when you shoot that puck in if you want to get it back.
Markov off the draw, just missed wide. And Subban will kill a little bit more time. Canadians 5th in the league on the PK. Hayes floats it to the line. Bjugstad after it, kicks it in. Bjugstad is in. The draw pass. Hayes shoots wide. Now Barkov gives to Hayes. Barkov poked off his stick and Subban clears. Jimmy Hayes with a great chance.
You know what? That is a really heady play by Subban. He just rushed the youngster Barkov, and Barkov at one moment of hesitation making a play, got the puck off of his stick.
Ekblad shoots in, got it past Price, who couldn't play at that time. Fleischmann turning in front. The return pass deflected. They couldn't get a shot off. Here's Upshaw shooting. Kampfer controls in the dying seconds of the man advantage. Fleischmann, Kampfer from the goal line scores! Steven Kampfer, his first as a Panther. He could not have picked a better time. We're tied in the 3rd.
I tell you what, he is so happy to be where he is, and he should be. He has played really well. Steven Kampfer, watch what he does. On the right side of your screen, he stays in the play. That is the point. He stays in the play. He's got good coverage. You got Bjugstad, who is covered for him on the point. Therefore, his job is stay with the play, and that is what he did best. And there's no way Carey Price was expecting that play or that shot that quickly. So now it's a tie game. What a play by Kampfer. No hesitation. You got to love it.
His 69th NHL game called up by the Panthers after a trade during the offseason before the season started. And he gets his 2nd point in those 8 games, his first goal. And we're tied, set up by Fleischmann. Pacioretty. And the Canadians with a chance now. The shot save Luongo. Rebound put out in front. And Upshaw gets it out of trouble. Fleischmann with a goal and an assist tonight remains hot. And the Panthers against Carey Price have come back from 2-0 down.
Couple beautiful assists the last couple of games from Thomas Fleischmann. And on this goal, just pay attention to Carey Price's head. You're going to see Carey Price and watch his head as it goes down low. To Fleischmann right here. He's going to turn his head, look the other way, and it did. It went right in behind him.
See Cash in the offensive zone. Canadians with a couple of shifts in the Florida end after that tying goal. Eller gets it out in front. Saved by Luongo. Canadians are getting to work here. Luongo lost his stick. Subban holding. Subban still with it. Luongo without the goal stick. Subban trying to fend off Bolin. Subban controls right on the line. Gets out in front. Taken away and cleared by Campbell. My goodness.
Now Subban gets everybody going here in Montreal.
Panthers trying to keep the momentum after the tying goal. See Cash in front. Luongo the save. And the Canadians coming back strong after Steven Kampfer, set up by Fleischmann, ties the game. The The Panthers were down 2-0 to Carey Price here in Montreal. They have come back to tie this game.
Good timing for Stephen Kampfer to get his first goal in a Panther uniform. Pretty play by the distant magician right now, Thomas Fleischman, as he put it right on Kampfer's stick. Able to go top shelf. Kampfer decides to stay down, and from a really, really hard angle, perfectly placed shot. But what I was alluding to, look at Carey Price's head. Right then left, as soon as he looks the other way, it goes back, and no chance, and the perfectly placed shot by Kampfer gets in behind Price. Wow, guys, what a turnaround in this game. Down 2-0 against the best defensive team in the NHL. The Panthers have battled back to tie it up.
Fleischman now 7 points in his last 9 games. And I'll tell you, we've said this before, I give him a lot of credit. He was part of that rotation with too many bodies, which is great for the Panthers to have that depth. Guys had to sit out games, and he has come back really well. And now producing at a super rate. Huberdeau gets tied up there with Pacioretty. Gallagher at the blue line. Shooting, glove save, Luongo, it's loose. Canadians ratcheted up the pressure after the Panthers got that tying goal. The Panthers need to respond. Desharnais. Bumped by Boys. And Barkov is on it. Tom Gilbert is back. Barkov with a steal. Tries to get it through to Huberdeau. Barkov again. But it comes to Gallagher, who has both Montreal goals. Desharnais, Ekblad is back. Ekblad gets picked away for a moment by the referee. Plus now, looking in front. Went right in between his two men. Beaulieu couldn't hold it in. Kopecky. Canadians back defensively. Kopecky dumps in, and he's the first man after it. Puts it around the boards. Goodbranson. Kampfer, who tied the game in the third. Goodbranson keeps it alive. Takes a shot wide. Kampfer steps up. Kopecky down low. Pruss takes a bump from McKenzie. Panthers put it behind the net again. Dale Weiss clears. Sean Thornton, the clear to center. Bouncing puck, Seacash takes over. Seacash with speed, getting in. Shooting, Luongo the save. McKenzie looking to go the other way with UC Jokinen. Late in the shift for McKenzie.
Seacash has had the Wheaties there today. He can fly. Remember the second period when he came back to add pressure and check. He can fly.
Plekanec creeps over the Panther line. Pass down low. Lars Eller. Bjugstad got a piece of it. Subban from the point right on. Luongo kicked it out with a left pad.
And I tell you what, that was tough to pick up. It was a knuckler.
Got deflected right in front of that shot against Luongo.
Is that what happened, Billy?
It did.
You got a better angle. All of a sudden, I saw the puck go end over end about halfway to Roberto.
That's where it got deflected.
Yeah.
Halfway. That was a tremendous save by Luongo.
O'Brien up to center. Subban takes back. Desharnais down the wing. Centering pass up high. Subban waits and shoots. Save by Luongo. Upshaw clears the slot. Oh, the Canadians are getting some chances here. Bolin shoots in. Subban again. Pacioretty up on the wing. Too far for Desharnais. Kampfer. Ekblad. And Upshaw's out. Upshaw gives to the red-hot Fleischman moving in.
Too bad he doesn't have the eyes that we have up here. Bolin was going wide, and he had no interruption between he and the net. Or no obstacle, I tell you what. But they don't have the vision we have from up here.
Beaulieu. Luongo's got it again. Next Sunday, the best drivers in the world will push themselves and their cars to the limits. In the 57th running of the Great American Race, the Daytona 500 begins Sunday at noon Eastern, only on Fox and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Roberto Luongo. And the Panthers have come back from 2-0 down here in Montreal. Fleischmann and Kampfer, the goal scorers. Goodbranson plays it around the boards. Boys hustles over and gets the clear. Boys again deep in his own end. Montreal putting the heat on now. Barkov works it free nicely to Kampfer. And he moves it up to center for Boys. He gets the red line. Price again will play it. Subban spins it out to center ice. Boys flips right back in. Malhotra threw it over the Panther line. Campbell there first ahead of Thomas, and Brian Campbell smoothly slides out to center. In over the line, cuts to the middle. Campbell with a chance. Put it out in front, deflected away. Campbell battling Thomas, but now he's got it.
Trying to get a stick back.
Nice poke check by Campbell. Ekblad clears. Weiss and Prust work down low. Prust stays on it. And here's Weiss again. Bjugstad back. Campbell there. Round the board. Subban trying to control. He couldn't. Jokinen battling Subban, got the clear.
Ekblad's got to get off the ice. He's been on the ice a long time right now. Campbell was able to get a line change.
Panthers couldn't clear it. Subban spinning. He fell down. Crowd wanted a call, but it was a good bump by Upshaw.
Fell down on purpose.
Bjugstad with a steal. Couldn't get around Gilbert. Clock continues to roll towards 8 minutes left. Lars Eller. Luongo with his 34th save of the game. Bolin doesn't like what Plekanec was doing in front. 7:56 left, third period. The Panthers have battled back and we're even. As the season moves on, the games get tougher and tougher, and what a battle this is right now. Let's take a look at our tonight's ADT defensive player of the game.
And Upshaw will show you that sometimes just good positioning is what does it. Upshaw right there down the low at the house, helping out his defense, picks up the loose puck, and out of the zone it goes safely. And Scotty Upshaw has had several hits, solid hits deep in the Montreal zone on their young defense. Trying to wear them down.
He got a helper on that game-tying goal, and he races out to center and shoots in. Bolin swats it back to the corner. Upshaw with Tenorti. Upshaw. And they got some help from Gallagher, so Montreal able to clear. Kampfer tied it earlier in the period. Gets to the center. Upshaw. Again floats it in. Pacioretty of the Panther line got it deep. Kampfer shoots in wide of the net. Gilbert is back. Pressured. But Dale Weiss able to get a hold of it. The race is on. Weiss with Ekblad. Prust there as well. Prust works it. Prust fires cross ice. Beaulieu with a shot. Stick save Luongo. Thornton leans on Weiss. Ekblad on Prust. McKenzie away with it. Plays it ahead, Thomas Kopecky. Jammed up with Gilbert. Both teams get a change. PK Subban back on the ice for Montreal.
You know he's going to take some chances offensively to try and win this game. PK Subban's already got several game winners for his hockey team. And
Bjugstad chasing him here.
I think he's got 4 of them.
He's already up over 24 minutes tonight. Subban fires ahead for Seacash. Offside. Oh, he waited and nearly had the home run pass there. And now O'Brien and Seacash get into it. Seacash took a little slash at Shane O'Brien.
Yeah, the youngster from the Czech Republic seems to be adept at slashing the opponent's hockey stick. Way outside. Not a hard call for the linesman, but certainly something to remember for the Florida Panthers. Seacash got tremendous speed, and you could tell that PK Subban was just biding his time. As long as he wasn't being challenged, he was going to wait for the opportunity to try and throw the long bomb to Seacash.
Seacash has been good in this game for a player that doesn't have a goal in 19 games. He's been pretty impressive.
Now they say here that he's trying to win the spot. Been up and down in terms of his play.
Bukestad along the boards here. But it's cleared all the way down. Goodbranson in his own zone for Florida. Hayes chips in over the line. Subban is there. Bukestad now, but he never got out of the zone. It's an offside call on the Panthers. Third period. We're even in Montreal. The Panthers here in Montreal will be the Canadians that broke out on top in this game.
Brendan Gallagher always on top of the doorstep. And right here, it's just the Florida Panthers couldn't get a hold of the puck. That thing was bouncing around like a pinball. But Gallagher found it. And then a little later, you needed a goal. Right there, it was just Fleischmann getting the goal, getting the assist. And now you've got a 2-2 hockey game. Fleischmann scores first. Kemper gets his first as a Florida Panther. And these hockey teams are battling right to the end.
Here's a look at the camera right inside Roberto Luongo's net. And on the other side, Carey Price. Camphor, the game-tying goal. 5 minutes into the period, set up by Fleischmann.
You know, people tell you that those guys are very big guys. They make the nets look small, but the guys in net will tell you that puck is very small. Some nights smaller than others.
Well played by Camphor on Eller. Goodbranson. Flips in out of the reach of Price. See if the Panthers can get to work here on Gilbert. But he's able to clear it ahead. It's Seacash again. Eller puts it on goal, blocked away by Luongo. Markov down low in a battle with Seacash. And Eller playing around to Tom Gilbert. Back the other way it comes. Goodbranson is there with a little bit of space. Clears for Boys. Here comes the Bolin line again. Another strong effort by these veterans. Bolin, Fleischmann, and Upshaw. Upshaw on the forecheck. Oh, he nearly got the turnover there, but it carries to Gallagher, streaking in over the Panther line. Look at the back check by Thomas Fleischmann. Offensively tonight with 2 points, and the defensive job there by Fleischmann.
What a play by Thomas Fleischmann getting back.
That's all effort right there.
Has a goal and an assist. That might be his best play of the game right there. That might be better than the goal and the assist.
Yeah, great point. Here's Ekblad in over the line, but it hit Bolin's skate. Offside.
Well, it just seems not to be tethered by negatives. And you know what happens is you've got a guy in Fleischmann who almost had the puck at center ice, did not get it. So he worked hard right here to make sure he got it. Good play on a speedy Gallagher. A little bit of determination in that face right there, I'd say.
Bukestad wins the faceoff.
I don't know how he says it in the home language, but I think it means I want the winner.
That will impress a coach way more than any goal and an assist. If you're a player like Thomas Fleischmann and you're coaching, you see him doing that kind of stuff, that's when you know Thomas Fleischmann is on board.
Campbell reverses for Ekblad. Lead up ahead for Jokinen. On the poke check, De La Rose worked it free. Plus pressured, spins, Throws to the Panther line. Campbell there to scoop it up. Give to Bukestad on the wing. Bukestad cutting, trying to get in front. Couldn't do it. Bouncing puck. Now Bukestad with a chance and a save up high by Price.
Boy, that's what Bukestad can do so well. He can extend the arms and shoot the puck with the arms extended. Not a lot of guys can do that.
Huberdeau chips in. Thomas bumped by Upshaw. Barkov is there as well. And then Gilbert shoves Barkov down. Boys gets it up for O'Brien. The wrist shot save. Rebound in front. Just wide by Huberdeau.
Well, that first shot by O'Brien certainly was deflected.
Thomas tried to shovel it in front. Couldn't do it. Barkov back defensively. Huberdeau. Petrovic. And O'Brien. And it's out. Clock rolls towards 2.5 left in the third. Eller on the shoot-in. Big hop. Luongo played himself. Plekanec puts it down and just missed Eller in front.
Well, it's always nerve-wracking when a goaltender extends himself to play a puck. This particular play is easy, but what Roberto tried earlier is not.
Oh boy, Eller, a loose puck in front. He misses high. The Panthers tried to clear up the middle. Yikes. No harm, no foul, and Bolin carries in. Sets up Fleischmann. His shot just went wide. Seacash gathers it in. Ekblad is back. Seacash trying to get a step. Aaron Ekblad with a beautiful stick there with less than 2 minutes to go. And now Ekblad carries in over the line. Trying to get it to Bukestad. Cut off by Subban. Bukestad steals it from PK. Hayes. Jokinen. Bukestad again. Panthers work the wall here in the offensive zone. Ekblad at the point with a shot knocked down in front. Here's Hayes. He couldn't get a shot away. Ekblad again. Another shot deflected. And then Hayes couldn't get a stick on it. Bukestad nearly tipped it home on the Ekblad shot. Ekblad again. The Panthers pushing late in regulation. What an effort by Florida. Falling behind 2-0. They battle back. Alex Pacioretty in over the Panther line. Ekblad knocked it away. Huberdeau leads the rest the other way. Canadians are back defensively. Huberdeau chips in and plays it. Barkov down. Huberdeau again. Boys is out in front. But Barkov had it tipped away at the last moment. Camford. And Goodbranson up ahead for Boys. Barkov bangs it off the wall. It did come out of his own.
Way outside. They'll be given a chance to get it out.
Canadians did get back. So the clock rolls. Scotty Upshaw, first man after a loose puck. Gets hit by Gilbert. 20 left. The veteran Markov. It deflects into the zone. Camford plays it around. Fleischmann with Plekanec now. Goodbranson gets a clear. And the Panthers come back from 2 down. The Cats grind it out. They have 1 point in the bank. They're 2 points out of a playoff spot. And there's 1 more point here for the taking in Montreal. We go to overtime at the Bell Center next. Here we go in Montreal. Steven Kampfer got the goal in the third to tie it. And we're going overtime. We take a look back, Denny, at your keys to the game. How did it work out for you so far?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. Number 19 was big. Number 14 was big in making sure that the keys were followed. That's Upshaw getting a lot of big hits down low on the Montreal Canadiens defense, and then take Price's vision away. Well, it had to take 2 shots, but Fleischmann got the first goal of the game by just in desperation, and he was not going to be denied. Kept shooting the puck, got the right deflection off the opponent's leg, and started the rally. He made it 2-1. Carey Price has only had to face 19 shots. given up 2 goals. Roberto Luongo has faced 38 shots and given up 2 goals. Guess who's got the best save percentage in tonight's game?
Here we go, 4-on-4. Campbell, Ekblad, Barkov, and Boys for Florida. Pacioretty, the leading goal scorer for the Canadians out there. Aaron Ekblad, knocked away by Pacioretty. And Desharnais works it free, and now the Canadians have possession. Former Panther Tom Gilbert. And they throw it to the Panther line. Ekblad is there. Panthers pushed hard in the final couple of minutes. Had some good chances to win it. Boys is in. Barkov sets up Campbell on the backhand. It goes wide, though. Bounces on goal. Price moves it along for Beaulieu. And he'll wait as the Panthers go for a change. And at least a partial one. Now Campbell gets off. Gallagher with Goodbranson back. Gallagher spins free. Goodbranson staying with him. Gallagher dancing along the wall. Fires cross ice. Plekanec stolen by Huberdeau. Huberdeau to center. Huberdeau over the line. Lead pass for Kampfer on the backhand. Price the save. And they get the whistle.
Boy, oh boy, you got to stay in the middle of the ice if you want to do your best in terms of defending. And you see Huberdeau for number 11 and white. He was right there in great position. The pass was intended for Subban. Jonathan Huberdeau was right there to turn it up ice for the Florida Panthers.
Bolin now on for the faceoff in the offensive zone.
Boy, he won 3 of 3 in Toronto.
He put it towards the net. Markov cut it off. PK Subban. Markov now. It's behind Seacash, so he's got to reset. Lars Eller tracks it down. Shane O'Brien with the hit. O'Brien has been physical tonight. 8 hits in the game for the Panther defenseman Shane O'Brien. Petrovic sees an opening. Petrovic has an opening. Petrovic looks in. He couldn't get the shot away.
Boy, again, it was that kid Seacash from behind. He just hooked him enough to stop from getting a good shot away.
Subban to center. Offside. De La Rose was in early as Subban hesitated at the line.
Well, he's had a terrific fight. He threw him left, he threw him right, but it was the left-right deke here that really fooled the Montreal defense as they opened up like the seas, and it was Seacash who came from behind to interfere with the intended shot. All he needed was one more stride.
Jokinen and Hayes, the forwards now for Panthers. Patterson throws it in. Plekanec streaks in to the forehand. Luongo the save. And Roberto holds it with the glove. His 37th save of the night may have been his biggest.
I don't know who's been more valuable to this organization than Plekanec. He comes in big all the time, gets a play, and then you've got the cartwheel saved by Roberto Luongo and the puck ending in his glove. Oh, boy.
The Panthers appreciated that save. Every player on the bench got up and tapped their stick on the boards.
You know, it's one thing to stop the play, the puck, but then to get the rebound, that is key in this kind of a game, 4-on-4.
Another heart stopper for the Panthers. What a game again. Trying to gain 2 points here, 1 already in the bank.
Yeah, these teams are not unaccustomed to playing one-goal games, so now they get themselves into overtime, and we'll see in a couple of minutes if something can be decided or not.
Pacioretty with a puck. Looking up high, has Subban. Back for Pacioretty. Plays it to the open space. It's Huberdeau. Bukestad trying to get a step ahead of the field. There's the pass. Cut off, though, by Pacioretty. Huberdeau waits for Bukestad to get outside. Huberdeau breaks in. Bukestad couldn't get a shot away. Gives to Campbell. Off his stick. Now it's Ekblad. He'll let one go. Looked down in front and just goes wide.
What a play. That was deflected right at
Bukestad. That was deflected wide as well.
right at Carey Price.
Oh, boy. How about a play by Huberdeau waiting for Bukestad to tag up and then breaking in?
I know, just the Jets came on, and then the play by Ekblad looking for the deflection, and the puck was deflected. It just hit Carey Price.
Eller. Brad Boyes flips it out. Barkov trying to get there, but Gilbert's got a step. And it's icing on the Panthers.
Well, you know what? This is a little bit of instinct and a lot of talent. Huberdeau is sitting there, and he wants to make the play. He knows the puck is offside. He sees Bukestad come in, and the defense spread open, so he figures, I'm going to take the opportunity. Had Bukestad been able to handle that puck right away, he was in a terrific shooting position. Very good. Strong shift there by Huberdeau.
He assisted on the Fleischmann goal. And that was huge at the time. The Panthers were down 2-0 in the second. They got that goal right back to give themselves a chance. Camper, who has the puck, tied in the third. Boyes chips in. Less than a minute left in overtime. Gilbert, bothered by Boyes. Gallagher able to get it ahead for Eller. Camper is back. Eller goes behind the net and falls down. It's under him. And they find it free to Fleischmann. Fleischmann trying to get out of the zone. He does push it out. 30 left in OT. PK Subban. Looking to get some room. Overskates. Backtracks. Bolin shoves him. Bolin. Couldn't quite get it down the ice. Plekanec races in. But Glanson stayed right with him. Look out. It's loose in front. Pacioretty couldn't get a shot away. Final seconds. Subban of Markov. He misses. And it is shootout time between Luongo and Price. And the Panthers and the Canadiens. The Cats toe-to-toe with the top team in the Eastern Conference.
Well, he's had what we would call a big game, but I tell you what, Steven Kemper tried to make a decision to stop the play or to slow down the play. There's just too much time. There's 11 seconds left. Kemper's trying to put a stoppage to the play, and the puck gets turned over. And I tell you what, if it wasn't for Bolin, the veteran coming back, it was Pacioretty who leads this team in scoring, and all alone in front of the net. So there's no doubt that Kemper was feeling a sigh of relief after that late shift.
Luongo, no stranger this year. He's been in a dozen shootouts. He has faced, there it is, 64 shooters. Most goalies, it takes a few years to see that many shots. Carey Price has been great in shootouts this year. He's 3-0. He's only faced 10 shots and given up a goal. See what the Panthers could do here in the shootout.
What's interesting about the Florida Panthers is when they've been outshot by the opponent, they've got an incredible record, 14-4-6. When they outshoot an opponent, they've got a losing record of 11-15-6. And Roberto's the reason why. And Montoya certainly plays a big part, particularly the way he has played the last several games he started.
Panthers got a point battling back from 2 goals down. They're 2 out of a playoff spot. Can they get one more? David Desharnais will begin. He's a mainstay in the shootouts for the Canadiens. 2 for 7 on the year. And he hit the post.
Montreal Canadiens got to be tired of that sound in Ottawa. They must have hit 4 goalposts during the game. I don't know how much room he had anyway. Roberto Luongo sort of went with the move.
Keep in mind, the next 2 Canadiens' usual shooters are not in the lineup tonight because of injury.
Yep.
Here comes Huberdeau on Price. Huberdeau slows down, and he couldn't beat Price.
Well, he tried a little different whoopsie doodle. Price is looking at him, I think, with a smile. But Carey Price did not really go for it. This is a move that often has worked. But Price is right there on top of it.
Usually P.A. Parento and Alex Galchenyuk shoot for Montreal. They're both out. So here comes the veteran Pacioretty, his first try of the year. Speeding it on Luongo, and he scores.
Goals on the season. Pacioretty had 39 last year. He's got a pretty good idea what he wants to do with a puck, and one of the rare guys that comes in with a lot of speed.
Brad Boyes has been super in his career. Trying to tie it. Boyes on Price. Nothing doing.
Gee, I think Price looked really nervous on that one. Tongue in cheek. They talk about how cool Carey Price is at goal. Pretty cool on that play, as he seemed to have it all the way.
Gallagher has both goals tonight for Montreal. He can end it. He speeds in, now slows down, and Luongo gives the Panthers a chance.
Well, he's got 2 goals. He ended the game in South Florida with the game-deciding goal in the shootout. Couldn't do it on this attempt.
The Carey chance go up here at the Bell Center. Luongo made the stop. Bukestad trying to keep Florida alive. And he does! Oh, big Nick Bukestad. We're not done yet, folks.
That was the exact move we saw in that marathon, the 20-round shootout that the Florida Panthers won by Nick Bukestad shooting the puck, faking first and going high second.
Hugs on the bench for Bukestad. Here comes P.K. Subban. He lost the puck, regains control. What a glove save for Luongo.
I'm not so sure that wasn't supposed to be whistled down.
If it went backwards, it should have been.
Well, he went by the puck. The referee was actually looking, and I thought he was making a motion towards blowing the whistle.
Can Jokinen win it for Florida? What a comeback this would be. Here comes Jokinen. Saved by Price. Will go to a 5th round.
Again, electing to go with a lot of speed. Trying to find that 5-hole, but watch the stick. The stick is down, and the pad is down very quickly. No 5-hole.
The veteran Plekanec comes in from that right side on Luongo, and Roberto comes up big again.
I tell you what, Plekanec has meant a lot to this organization, a player that is really liked, and he comes up big oftentimes. Gave his team a chance at the third period, couple of chances, couldn't put it away.
Barkov can end it. The 19-year-old cannot beat Price. My goodness.
Those words are getting a little redundant there, my broadcast partner. Cannot beat Price is not something the Florida Panthers want to hear again.
Another defenseman for Montreal, it's Markov. Look at his career numbers, first attempt this year. Right up the middle. And Luongo gives the Panthers another chance to win this thing.
I tell you, the big guys make saves look easy, don't they? Roberto Luongo had him all the way.
Dave Bolland has a couple this year for the Panthers, the veteran. Bolland on Price. Yes, sir, let's go home. The Cats are within 1 point of a playoff spot. How do you like that?
Oh, and a rat is on the ice here in Montreal, Quebec.
You mean a rubber one or Dave Bolland the rat?
Oh, the rat, both in live and in rubber. Dave Bolland, I tell you what, his game has gotten better and better as the season winds down, and you will remember he missed a good part of the season at the beginning, and right now he is as sharp as they come. There's not a lot of 5-hole room there, but he certainly finds it as Bolland ends it. The game-deciding goal, GDG, Dave Bolland.
Remarkable Bolin had not done much in shootouts in his career. Remember, he scored in that 20-rounder to keep the Panthers alive. He's now 3 for 5 this year in shootouts. And the Panthers, against not only probably the best goalie in hockey, he may be the best player in hockey, come back from 0-2 down on the road in Montreal to tie it, and then pull it out in the 6th round of the shootout. What a win for the Panthers. Plenty more coming up from the Bell Center in Montreal. 6th round, Dave Bolin. Bingo. The Panthers are 2-0 on the road trip. Stay with us. The post-game show is next.